over to it. There it is. Look, live. That's my fault, Angie. Good job. Good catch. I would have caught it during the break because I click on that. That was my next tab over. But yeah, good catch on that.
Yeah, I got a couple of students that watch here and there, and they're going to be disappointed because who is that idiot you're always arguing with?
He's not here today.
He's not here.
He got his blood pressure up so much last night.
I'm going to watch on YouTube this morning. You just missed some a Legion and a little high school football and a little donut talk here in Cherville. When we come back, though, we're going to eat our biscuits from McDonald's here in Cherville. Don't forget to stop by and see and support the Cherville girls softball, Dixie Youth softball over across the parking lot from McDonald's, and get you some donuts and support them. We'll be back in a few minutes, talking more sports here on KDCBroadcasting.com.
A gas leak can be a killer. Just a small pinhole in a gas line put together with one small spark, and the unthinkable can happen. Now you can get a whole home gas line inspection by calling Today's Pro in Shelby. They'll be more than happy to come out and detect any gas leak that could lead to a disaster for your home. And with summer here, see Today's Pro in Shelby for your pool supplies. And yes, they do pool water tests as well. And they can fill your propane tanks too. Today's Pro, 1325 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby. Call 704-600-8393. Online at thetodayspro.com.
You may remember the Ride-A-Bike Bicycle Shop that originally opened in Lincoln. Well, today, they are at East Main Avenue in downtown Gastonia, and they have all types of new and certified pre-owned bikes for sale. From Greenway to mountain bikes to electric to gravel bikes, they have them all. And they repair almost every bike and feature a full-service parts and accessory department. They'll even change out your seat to give you a more comfortable ride. Ride-A-Bike Bicycle Shop, 140 East Main Avenue in downtown Gastonia, online at rideabike.com. Flooring America in Kings Mountain and Carver One Flooring Home in Gastonia have some great news. New LVP flooring that's waterproof. Hey, and it's also pet-proof. And even kid-proof. But best of all, it's only $319 a square foot. That's right, LVP waterproof flooring for $319 a square foot. From Flooring America, 602 Slater Street in Kings Mountain, and Carpet One Floor and Home, 2757 East Ozark Avenue, Gastonia. When you come into Hometown Hardware in Kings Mountain, you're greeted with local hometown hospitality. They are there to serve you. Start your cookout with the new Traeger grill. They also have your wood pellets, accessories, rubs, and more. Also famous Milwaukee tools and one of the largest selections of case knives in the area. For your hardware items, go to Hometown. They'll never let you down. See Howard or Kyle and leave with a smile at Hometown Hardware, 110 South Railroad Avenue, Kings Mountain. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too. Beat the heat with these great specials from Rye Heated and Air Conditioning. Right now, pay 0% interest and make no payments for 12 months. And after the 12-month no-interest period, your interest rate is only 9.99% over 60 months. And Rye has extended their New Year promotion for maintenance and repairs. Get a free second opinion diagnostic with 10% off new equipment. And as always, they offer a 10% military discount. That's Rye Heated and Air. Call 980-342-9845.
There she is.
Cody? So you didn't get what I told you to?
Dad, I did my research.
Let's see what he can do. Not bad.
What do you think?
Not bad. Not bad.
So?
He likes it.
I knew he would.
Your Coyote dealer is Western Sales, Highway 18 North, Highway 27 West intersection in Vail.
Hey, you overachiever. Yes, you. Need to hit refresh? Time to break and head to McDonald's for an ice-cold drink. Try that delicious new frozen Hawaiian Punch or a refreshing frozen Fanta Blue Raspberry or tasty frozen Coke. Any size frozen drink is only $1.89. Or get a McCafe iced coffee and get any size, any flavor for the same price. There are drinks. Then there are drinks from McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal. Coca-Cola and Fanta are registered trademarks of the Coca-Cola Company. Hawaiian Punch is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
And we're back. We're Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. Kevin, Zach, Tom, and Robbie. I had to remember that from my original say because usually I say Tom.
At least he remembers his name.
there was a 50-50 chance he wasn't getting Robbie's name.
Yeah, I know Rob. I
It
know
was
Rob.
probably like 75-25, and he just beat all the
He
odds.
forgot my whole face.
Yeah. Rob, he walked in here and asked me, "Who
You had a hat on.
Yeah, I had him. Saw him in the grocery store. Didn't know who he was. He's been working with him for years. Zach walked up to him in the grocery store and he asked
Talking
him
to
who
him.
he was.
I was having a conversation with him. Says, "Wait a minute, who are you again?"
Just incredible. Just incredible.
Like, wow.
Chicago, Tommy. We in Chicago this week. No Terry here today to complain about it.
I thought you were going to make fun of Cleveland because they got beat by Chicago 10-1 yesterday.
No, I don't keep up with whatever the Cleveland Guardians are doing.
Why should you keep up with sports? You only have a sports show.
Well, why would anybody keep up with what the
You
Cleveland
see,
Guardians are doing?
you see, Jim Edmonds was in
I
trouble.
that's the big story. Is Jim Edmonds.
What'd he do wrong?
He made the comment.
About the logos changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're having a hissy fit about it. He didn't even say anything wrong. And his wife is Indian.
Oh, I did see it. He was making. Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, he said that was pretty cool. That
he was making the point that we have for years is that the Indians fans are not there going, "We hate the Indians." They're going, "Go Indians!"
Right.
And go Braves. Let's go Braves. It's not.
Yeah, you want your mascot
Hail,
to
these words. Hail to the Redskins.
Yep.
That's a bad thing.
You want it to exude strength. That's what you want your mascot to be.
It's HAIL, not
Redskins
HELL
logo-
to the Redskins.
The Redskins logo was an actual portrait of the Blackfoot chief drawn by another member of the tribe.
Which they were very in favor of because of that
yeah?
particular. It was the opposite tribe, from what I understand, that got them kicked out.
So I think he was alluding to the fact of that. That was his point that I was getting. That what we talked about is that you don't go and not say go.
If you think they've lost their mind on that, the Supreme Court laid down its decisions. The whole country, it's going to be chaos for a month. I'm not going to get into politics today, but they're not going to be real happy with some of the things the Supreme Court has laid down. But on to sports. Yeah.
Hey, I did say that a guy got killed setting up for the race in Chicago. I didn't read the details because I just assumed he'd got shot.
No, it was like I think it was a heart attack or something like that.
I mean, I'm just assuming
why they were working.
You got to go with percentages, right, Robbie?
Yeah, I mean, I was just playing the odds there.
Yeah,
Just
right.
to say the guy got shot.
FCC, we're sorry. He's usually not on here. He had to fill in today. We're sorry. We're going to send him to the Dennis Davis School of Broadcasting.
We're going to bring the babbling, incoherent old man back next week.
Speaking of babbling incoherent, this is Jack. Let's see if I can find his name. It didn't say it. Crap. Anyway, this is a sprint car racing story, real quick. Zach, if you'll hit the button now.
Well, when you don't even have to be racing. You can be running dead last and not another car for a straightaway. And if you're up against the fence at Eldora, you're holding your breath. I mean, that'd have to be the neatest thing in the world if you can do it and make it through the corner, I remember going into one before and saying, oh my God, you get me out of this, Jesus, and I'm telling you, I will straighten my life up. I won't cuss no more, and I'm just not going to do a lot of things bad against you. And somehow we make it through the corner. And we go into 3, over our head, have to start the same speech all over again, You've went in way deep, and you got to start talking to the man upstairs because that's the only way you're coming out. But that's sure what makes it fun.
Talking about racing outdoor and racing in general, there's Zach getting down into the corners. You got to pray to Jesus to get into one, and they come out and they talk to him again in turn 3.
How many people have made pledges to Jesus that they have not? Jesus, if you get me through this, I'll never drink again.
What if Andre did that when he fell off the jet ski the other day?
Yeah. Oh gosh, he had issue with that. Another big deal in racing this week was the Cars Tour. I don't know if you guys know anything about this. Either one of you? No. All right, so this is basically the old stock cars that Dale Earnhardt and them used to kind of drive, and Dale Jr. and 90s, 80s race cars. Basically, this is a new series, and it's owned by Kevin Harvick, part owner, and a couple of other folks. Well, his crew chief Rodney Childers, and they've built a car, and they've got their own car, and they actually won the first race. Well, then the car didn't pass inspection. They had an illegal sway bar on it and by all accounts, Rodney's a good guy, and he's honest, and he came on the internet and said that hand to my heart, I didn't even know that we couldn't have this type of sway bar on these cars. He said, I'm going back to read the rule book, and I apologize. And they come out, and they took the win away from him and gave it to the number 2 guy. So that's been the big news in the off the NASCAR circuit this week is accusing the Harvicks and Childers of cheating their in the tour that they own. A lot of people say a lot of this about Larson racing in these dirt series that he owns a part of as well. So this has been a big thing in the racing world this past week, and to me, I think it was an honest mistake. Rodney has always been straight up honest, and reading his text, it did seem like he was like, I totally did not know anything about this, and we'll take whatever punishments, whatever it is, but just interesting to no matter what they're doing, somebody's doing something to the race car at some point.
That's how they built NASCAR.
That's
right.
it.
And those old cars had so much more stuff, and that's the reason that he said, and they were pointing out that a lot of the guys are loving this tour. This is the one that Junior was racing in in the Sundrop car there. But there are a lot of reasons they do it because you can play around with the cars and have fun. And the new NASCARs, you can't touch them, do anything to them. So that's their big news this week is Childers and Harvick. So now as we move into Chicago, I'm gonna watch some videos. Well, I got one more. Terry wasn't here this week, and this is for you Earnhardt fans, and Zach will like this one probably too. Here's a Earnhardt talking about the guys complaining about the tracks being too fast. Okay, so we're gonna read you a little article from the B News Services in Daytona Beach. It says it's obvious Earnhardt is getting his swagger back now, going for his 8th championship. Sat in the trailer Friday afternoon on Daytona, leaned back on the couch, and proceeded to rip his competition. The Intimidator was far from genteel, particularly when criticizing drivers who complain about the fast speeds. Dale Earnhardt said, quote, I've heard some drivers saying we're going too fast at Charlotte. We're going too fast here. If you're not a race car driver and not a racer, then stay home. Don't come here and grumble about going too fast. Stay the hell home. Get out of the race car if you've got feathers on your legs or your booty. Put a kerosene rag around your ankles so the ants won't climb up there and eat your candy butt. That's Dale Earnhardt. He talked about other drivers complaining about it's too fast.
And not too long after that, he was dead.
Right.
So, I mean.
in Daytona.
Yeah, in Daytona. Yeah.
And he was talking about Dale in that interview. That's where I think NASCAR lost. Not so much Dale Earnhardt on the track, not having Dale Earnhardt off the track for all those times going into the next generation where he could talk about those kids and be on the TV and breaking it down and things like that. That's where NASCAR lost, not him as a driver, but him as the torchbearer going into another generation.
How funny would he be on broadcast?
Oh man,
God! Because you'd had him and Waltrip on the same broadcast maybe together. They'd have fought.
It'd been pure gold.
And no, honestly, if he's still alive, he might still be driving.
That's true.
He might.
Really?
That's true.
This is Ric Flair.
Seriously, right?
This is Ric Flair.
Do you see him saying,
he'd be about 70 years old now. Yeah, he'd be about. He was maybe 51 when he died.
He was in his 50s.
So it was 2001. So he'd be in his early 70s. Oh, sure, he could still.
So NASCAR, they started using restrictor plates after a race at Talladega in 1987 when Bobby Allison's car went into the retaining fence at 210, barely missing some fans. Obviously, the safety stuff has changed since then. A lot of people talking about they want to go back to the faster speeds there at Talladega. And this is the argument, and things have been taught. Dale's gets you into this a little bit. The plate slowed the speeds, but now the cars are bunched in a large group, racing 2 and 3 wide. It makes for exciting racing, but some drivers feel it puts them in greater danger. Drivers also complain that by essentially making all the cars equal, they can no longer avoid accidents or make passing moves the way they could when cars ran with restrictor plates. Adding to the problems, NASCAR started issuing its own shocks at the fast tracks. I can't barely read this gray text. Fast tracks this year to change the handling on the cars. As a result, drivers had even more trouble going fast. In qualifying sessions at Daytona this year, This was in 2001.
This was 2000.
2000, okay.
Ooh,
the
wow.
Chevrolets, such as Earnhardt's, have been redesigned for 2000. Only 2 Chevys will start in the top 15 today. Well, let's see. It added up to vending from. Here's more from Earnhardt. Are they going to pull the insurance if you run over 200 miles per hour? I'm just saying we need to grow up here and decide if we're going to race or if we're going or what we're going to do. Right now, we're not racing. We're just existing on the track together. And that was the quote that
about
they
6
used.
months before he died. Yeah, because it was February 2001 when he had the wreck.
And then a lot of then there was also talk about this week as far as the caution, Zach, or the automated cautions, the stage racing. One of the reasons they're talking about Carl Edwards is one of the main guys that was against that, and they say that's one of the reasons he retired. And he's been talking about coming back and doing some just show races lately, just to see, for fun. He's got the itch, but a lot of the guys did not like the stage racing.
Right.
What they were complaining about, Tommy's like, if I get an advantage and I go to pits, and then I've got half a lap advantage from the guy back behind me. But now, we go to the pits, then 10 laps later we go to the pits again. Now we're all beside each other, and I have no advantage. So what's the point? So a lot of them, that was their take, the driver's takes on that. Let's go over the Chicago course. How about that, guys? So this is it's a little video. Zach, we'll play the audio. Give me a second.
Yeah, I think I saw a little bit of this on TV.
Might not have any audio. Hit it, Zach. Maybe it's just music. If it is, we'll talk to it. There's a straightaway. In turn 1, there's a sharp 90-degree left turn. You got a short straightaway. Now, Tom, the NASCAR fan said don't put a wall up here, and if you overcook the brakes, you just end up in Lake Michigan. That is right, Lake Michigan, right?
Yep.
And so they were talking about there may be some boats out here being able to try to watch. But here's what's cool about this, guys. This side of the street here is going to be open. Like, there's going to be real traffic right here. And so they're going to be racing going at, because this is one of the straightaways. They said they could get up to 150 miles per hour in the straightaways, passing cars going by at 45,
and
looking at the water.
That's also going to be called now the duck zone.
Is it?
So if there's any drive-bys, you need to get down if you're racing there. So.
That's the spot.
Yeah, that's the spot there, that straightaway.
All right, on that straightaway, then you get down to turn 3 is kind of a real NASCAR curve. That's not going to be too much danger there. Maybe some passing guys.
That'll be tough there. That's
Then 5 and 6 are two pretty much 90-degree turns going back. Then you're straightaway back in towards the city. Into another. And turn 6 is 90 degrees left. We'll turn this down there. They ain't open.
Let me hit it off.
No. Yeah, well, I guess you could. Go ahead. And so turn 8 is a little right, a little left.
A little S turn or something.
Yeah, kind of a big hook. I'll pull up the actual diagram from above the track in just a moment. And there's the finish line now. Tom, here was what
2.5, 3 miles.
Here's what some folks, Rob, you're talking about safety.
2.2,
And this is what some folks were worried about as far as safety-wise, that this scared a lot of people that as far as the Las Vegas shooting right here. You've got a big giant grandstand right now sitting across the street from
a high rise,
from a couple of high rise office buildings and stuff. And so part of the thing was NASCAR's got to secure. Was actually the city is going to try to do their best to secure this area and building. But yeah, there were.
And you got faith in those leaders in Chicago,
well,
baby.
Yeah, they're going to. So a lot of NASCAR fans were like, I don't know about sitting in the grandstands here. The tickets here are extremely expensive, guys. It's like $300 for general admission.
What is an expensive?
No seat.
What is an expensive?
Is it because they have lack of seating, probably?
Well, that probably.
Talk to anybody who's moved around here from Chicago, and they'll tell you I sold my 1,000 square foot house and bought 30 acres in Rutherford County.
Crazy.
It's just crazy.
Here's the start finish line / pit area as we come into that, guys. So the qualifying will actually stop before the start finish so they can get them in and out of the pits quicker, so they don't have to go around the whole track again. So that's going to be a little bit. The qualifying times are going to be a little bit different than the actual track time. So if you look there to your right, that's your little pit areas now where they are, and they're NASCAR's actually the grandstand that they're using is a temporary grandstand, and they put them actually over the trees. So they've built them, the little small trees that run along the road. So I don't know how the environmentalists are going to be happy about that one. But that's the President's Paddock Club, Tom. You're not invited to that one.
Probably not.
They don't let us go there.
Let me double check my email, make sure I didn't get a pass.
Paddock Club anywhere.
It's in your spam.
Yeah, it's in my spam. That's what
No, neat little 3D diagram of the course. I'm gonna try to find some others from guys walking the course, but they've had to, all the manholes are secure. This is a stock car racing in at Soldier Field. Remember we talked about this when we talked about the Coliseum. Is that they've raced inside football stadiums before, and this is actually one of the first ones. And NASCAR used to race inside Soldier Field. This is a 1949 race at Grant Park 200, and no bumping in those cars, I believe.
Yeah, looks like you got a little radiator issue there.
Blew it
up. So here's NASCAR's there's the Choose V. Tom, you know what the Choose V is?
No.
So
which lane you
choose
going
inside outside lane.
Okay.
On the short tracks, and a lot of time
and it's after a caution or something, is it not?
There's the guys walking. That's turn 5. Let's see how tight it is. You got to get.
Great, them roads
cars are going to get in there. Now remember, these cars aren't big at all. They look bigger than they are than they really are. That's Jeff Burton talking about it. Let's go ahead and hit and we'll do the audio on him. Zach, give me 1 second. Right here. All right. Go ahead. Just leave that on for a little bit.
Down the street right. You can see they're still building the facility. This is crazy. We in NASCAR have never done a street race before. We've never seen tracks constructed on the day of the race, and that's what's happening here. That's going to create a ton of challenges, but that's what NASCAR is. That's what we do. It's not supposed to be easy. You can see we've got a straightaway here, and it's a long straightaway going straight into the city, but the end of this straight is a tight 90-degree corner. So you're going to have to take these extremely heavy cars, and they are hauling the mail down these long straights, get them slowed down, make a 90-degree corner, and do that all while racing and trying to pass people and keep them from passing you. Not making mistakes is going to be really important. Normally you get races like this, unforeseen things happen, we have accidents, we have wrecks, we have all kinds of stuff happen. Being smart, staying out of trouble could pay dividends. However, if you're going to win this race, you got to be aggressive, you got to push, and you got to make stuff happen.
So,
you can see that.
So what he's talking about there, and what I've seen on the simulators that they've been running on it, is that there's not a lot of passing places. So when they get a chance, they're going to have to be aggressive. There might be some wrecks that it's going to take a little bit maybe on the wrecks.
Are they going to get a chance to practice?
No.
Ooh.
There just seems to me there's a lot that can go wrong.
Yes.
I mean, they're kind of walking the edge with this thing.
You imagine lap 1? We might have half the field left.
Hey, look at the rally car racers. They got a
what's the point of that
cement cone in the middle of the road
where they hop up on that
so they don't kill each other.
Chicago shows to protest an NASCAR race?
I don't know what the truthfulness in that one is. I'm looking for videos here. Oh, here's the guys talking about the Kevin Harvick talking about Bruton Smith. He wasn't too nice about him, Zach.
Okay.
Just leave it on for right now.
Bruton Smith recently suggested that maybe throwing out.
This ended up being the stage racing. So they're talking about purposeful cautions, basically.
Some cautions to break up the long green flag runs. What's your take on that idea?
Same guy ruined Bristol. Mandatory cautions? When we know when they're going to come out? No, not really.
Who's this?
I think that it really could be dangerous for these car owners and things like that if you had mandatory cautions. You'd end up having more fluke winners and more fluke champions when it's all said and done.
Let's just start at the beginning. Let me just lay something out here for you guys. Is it everyone in this room? Is it your understanding?
This is Carl Edwards.
That when they throw the green flag, right? That the only reason another flag is going to come out, like a yellow one or a red one, before that checkered flag comes out, if there's a condition on the racetrack that is unsafe to continue the race. Is that what everybody understands? If we start getting away from that and we say, okay, halfway through the race, we're going to throw a caution, we're all going to line back up. Well, now it's 2 races, or where the first race doesn't even matter. Now you just got a shorter race. The lead in basketball is a figurative one. It's a score. So it's as if you stop the quarter in basketball and then you even the score. In racing, I go out there and I gain an advantage. Maybe not this track, but at most tracks, I gain a big advantage. That caution erases that advantage. It's my opinion, my humble opinion. I'm not saying what's right or wrong, but it's my opinion that takes something away from the sport.
He ain't lying.
Mm-hmm. Ever seen crosswalks on a NASCAR race? Traffic lights?
Yeah. It's going to be fun.
Let's talk
Graffiti.
Oh, graffiti.
Street lamps.
Now, let me go back to the graffiti thing.
Street lamp.
This is actually not graffiti.
Graffiti.
This is they actually hired Chicago street artists to paint some of the walls. There on the court, paint over whatever was there probably
whatever
there.
the current graffiti was.
Whatever the current graffiti was.
Whichever gang can tag that area.
Yeah,
now it's going to go back and re-tag
this is
their area.
actual street artist that NASCAR hired to paint some of the course, which is I can't wait to see what some of the things they've come up with.
Street lamps.
Let's talk about all the things you
traffic right next to the track.
Hey, that's the video of the guys. They're right there where they're standing. They're going to you make that turn behind them, and they're gassing it there, going away from the city at 150 miles per hour. And right there beside them is the traffic. That's wild.
Could you imagine the cost of
traffic right next to
that,
the track?
Event?
That's what we were saying. Like, how much money they got to make on TV and
another
stuff,
manhole cover.
just to be able to cover
lots of manhole covers. And a water bottle paved into the track.
Yeah, there you go, Tom. Yeah, how about your street workers? Pave the water bottle into the track.
That's street racing for you.
So it's gonna be some type of a show. I don't know what to call it, but it's gonna be. Here's Dale Jr.
And her whole team, man. I can't believe I can't even imagine all of the boxes that had to get checked. You're looking at this just from a parts and pieces point of view. Just all these walls and all this stuff, and the grandstands and 40 Johns, all that stuff. But also, she's been here for how many months? Maybe even a couple years. Meeting with, every group. Imagine.
You talked about the logistics there, Rob. Mm-hmm. So the what's going to be the most key is, I guess, is qualifying track position. I don't know if you've watched any of the simulations. There's, like I said, there's not a lot of passing. There's a lot of follow the leader. It's going to be whose car doesn't break. A lot of survival in this race. That's Jensen Burton talking about street cars. I think he's an IndyCar driver, and he was talking about how they needed to that he likes the street course. It's going to be something different. And there's a chance of rain too. So they've got the lights on. They could be racing in the rain.
Are they going to put tires on them if they do have to rain?
I don't know if they've got actual rain tires, which they usually do if they. So I don't know the exact rules on the rain tires right this second.
It's similar to that Le Mans.
But yeah.
24 hour.
So anyway, Tom, you excited? You gonna watch?
I'll probably take a little bit of look at it. I rarely sit through a whole race. I can't remember the last time I did that. Probably since I've been in college, I sat down and just watched the entire race. But if you want to listen, it'll be on 92.9. That might be a good thing. Go out, cut the grass a little bit, and listen to the race on the radio.
Here's the haulers pulling it in. Just pulling on the street course there. There's you some of the
what time to start, Kevin?
5:30. We'll go over that in just a second. That's the start
That's
of
a late start time for
that. That's summer heat that the guys don't want to overheat the guys here in late June.
It's 4:30 out there, 5:30 here.
That's the time the race coverage starts. The actual race starts at like 6:30, I believe.
So it'll be 5:30 out there.
I'll get on that and make sure here. Just say this is Dale Earnhardt Jr. talking about the left.
And there's so many unique things about this course. No turn is the same. I promise you. There's so many variations in where the tire barriers are. In my particular corner going into turn 4, it narrows from 5 lanes down to 2. A massive funnel. They'll be arguing over positions trying to get into turn 4, and they have to figure it out or end up in the wall. And so that's going to be fun to watch that argument take place, right? And see who wins it. day after day or lap after lap as we go through this whole weekend. Right?
Oh, there's a good spot. I was going to look that up. I might as well just pause it there.
And there's
it's going to be hard to do that. I'll pull up the diagram here in a second. But so there's you get a Busch Light for $10.50 and a Michelob Ultra for $10.50 at this joker.
I'll be sober. I'll be sober.
There's a Michael Jordan car at Wrigley Field they had out for the Bubba Wallace gang. MJ had him a car out there. It's pretty neat. Zach, you like it?
Mm-hmm.
So Bubba's been all over the place in Chicago this week. All right, guys, when we come back, we got more baseball. We got baseball. Sorry, let's do the weekend schedule. Sorry, you're right. Y'all, one at a time.
Yep.
One at a time. Today, we do have Xfinity racing here on KTC Broadcasting.
Where are they doing that?
Where? Same place.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Xfinity guys are going to test it out so we can everybody can watch and laugh at them and figure out what not to do.
Yeah.
They're good guys. Y'all the guinea pigs.
They really are. But they don't mind it. They're having fun with it.
Do they have guys that do both like they did back in the day?
There's a few that are doing both. I don't know exactly who. Today coverage starts at 4:30. Race should be about 5:30 tomorrow. Coverage starts at 6. Race should be about 7. Let me make sure they haven't changed that though. As far as tomorrow's with the rain chances. Today Xfinity Series qualifying is at noon. NASCAR Cup Series qualifying is at 2:30. The Loop 121 is at 5 p.m. today. So Xfinity Series race today is at 5. That is on USA if you're going to watch it. Of course, you can listen to it here on KTC Broadcast at 92.9 FM. Tomorrow, driver introductions begin at 4:55. The Grant Park 220 scheduled at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So expect a 5:35, 5:40, probably green flag start, I would guess, maybe. If that's the way they got it listed, because they'll talk a little bit too long, more than likely. So you can listen on KTC Broadcasting right here on 92.9 FM. When we come back, we'll talk Atlanta Braves baseball, Charlotte Hornets basketball, Carolina Panthers football, and more. KTCBroadcasting.com.
On the Oak Grove Road. This week, we'll take a look at a 2013 Toyota Tacoma V6 4x4, 110,000 miles, priced at $22,995. Scoot around town in a 2006 Scion X-Box with manual transmission for $39,995. And a 2015 Ram 1500 Express Quad Cab 4x4 truck, priced at $21,495. Oak Grove Auto Sales, Service, and Body Shop, 522 Oak Grove Road, Kings Mountain. Online at oakgroveauto.com. Like them on Facebook, too.
Country Gold with Terry Clark.
Hi, I'm Terry Clark, inviting you to join me for Country Gold. Each week, we play your favorites from the 80s and 90s and check in with the stars who made them. Don't miss out on the fun.
Join Terry Clark every Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock on Carolina Country WCSL, 92.9 FM, 1590 AM, and online at KTCBroadcasting.com. The City of Cherryville invites you to come downtown and take a look at the new downtown street renovation. The project has been completed and they invite you to drop by. The City of Cherryville wants to say thank you for bearing with them during this project. You'll see it was well worth it. Again, thank you from Cherryville Mayor H.L. Bean, Council members Jill Pewitt, Malcolm Parker, Gary Freeman, John Abernathy, and City Manager Brian Dalton. This message brought to you by everyone at the City of Cherryville. It's where life blossoms.
We're proud to be working with our local businesses for the greatest comeback of all time.
Come together.
Shop local on whatsupshopper.com, Carolina Country, and The Boss.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha wave runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2022 VX Series with audio packages, the much-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner Country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Laurel.
In an uncertain market, you can choose the stable way to invest your savings. Carolina Federal Credit Union's high-yield certificates of deposit offer competitive fixed rates up to 4.5% APY. They are NCUA insured and have no monthly maintenance fees. Contact them today for more information at 704-435-0186 or check out the rates at carolinafcu.org. APY is the annual percentage yield. Certain minimum balances will apply. Rates are subject to change. It's summer travel time. No matter where you're headed, head first to Butler's Tire and Auto Service in Kings Mountain for a quick auto checkup. They are fully staffed and ready to serve you for all of your automotive needs. And now take $25 off your service bill. And all tires are at cost with an installation package. And they carry all name brands. That's Butler's Tire and Auto Service, 404 East King Street in Kings Mountain, online at butlerstireauto.com. See their page at whatsupshopper.com and like them on Facebook too.
And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk. I want to say to Kevin, bless you, because I heard you sneeze. But still, at least the radio wasn't on when you did that. So
thanks, JP. I think I lost some brain matter on that one.
Oh, yeah.
JP, you're what is that sound?
Oh,
it's Looney Tunes.
No, actually, it's my Angry Birds game.
Oh.
I didn't turn that volume.
It's your what game?
My Angry Birds 2.
Angry Birds 2. He's working hard in there.
Yep.
Happy Bobby Bonilla Day, like Rob said. He's getting $1.19 million.
Does he get that for the rest of his life?
2030, I believe.
From the Mets. The Baltimore Orioles give him $500,000 a year.
Okay, that's nice.
So he gets $1.7
figured
million.
it out, didn't he?
$1.7 million a year.
It's a gamble. You take it up front or you take it for long term. What if he don't live that long, like Tony Gwynn or something?
Here's some other ones. Brett Saberhagen receives $250,000 a year from the Mets for 25 years. Max Scherzer will receive $105 million from the Nationals that will be paid through 2028. Manny Ramirez still collecting on $24 million that's owed to him through 2026. King Griffey Jr., Zach, is still owed by the Reds $3.5 million every year through next year.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's fourth on their payroll.
Yeah, third or fourth.
King Griffey Jr. is fourth on their payroll.
That's wild.
King Griffey Jr.
Probably better than half their roster.
Yeah, and they're playing pretty well.
That's awesome.
No, I saw a list. It was the top 6 Reds payroll.
Yeah.
3 of them were designated for assignment. One of them was King Griffey Jr. So only 2 of their top 6 are actually on the team and playing. Todd Helton will get $1.3 million from the Rockies every year through this year. So there's some of the other guys who have good grief. I can't believe look at that stat, Zach. I'm gonna pull this up. How does this compare in salaries? And instead of putting their stats, look what they listed. Their WAR. How am I supposed to know what that means? I'm so tired of this stuff. I hate this WAR stuff. Guys, it's not a stat. If you can't go and get Rob, when I show up Sunday, how can I get 0.3 WAR? What do I do? Will you tell me?
It's the worst.
How do I get 0.3 WAR Friday? Coach, I'm working on my WAR.
Yeah.
Well, your ERA is 7.5, son. Like, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna look at that one. I'm done with you guys on that one. All right, let me go over to some fun baseball stuff here, brought to us by the fine folks in the Twitter world. There's the Bobby Bonilla Day. I got that one. 1-point-something million. Now, this is pretty cool. This is in Asheville. McCormick Field, we were talking racing, guys, was originally paved around it, and it was a racetrack. So this is a picture in 1957, McCormick Speedway in Asheville. Started as a dirt track. The Speedway was paved in 1956 and ran for 3 seasons, hosting a multitude of different races. In 1958, Jim Pasco won the only NASCAR Grand National race at the track in a field of 15 cars. But we've seen the up at Winston-Salem State with the track around it, but I've never seen around a baseball field paved like that. Rob, have you?
I have not.
And there it is. There it is now. The old racetrack is now the warning track, but the field it looks pretty nice little baseball. Have you been to that field, Tom? I mean, Tom. Tom's not sitting there. Robbie,
I have not.
Where is McCormick? Is Asheville? That's not T.C. Robertson, is it?
No.
I'll click that in and look that up here in a second. I don't know why. We should know that one, shouldn't
we? Is that where let's see, what is it? The Tourist, the Asheville Tourist? Don't they have a minor league team up there?
They do, I believe. Asheville Tourist. There you go. I clicked McCormick Field, and that's what popped up was Asheville Tourist. So there you go. That's where the Asheville Tourist play, Rob.
Was it like a very low minor league?
Yeah, I believe so.
It's like the Honey Hunters. Isn't it?
Okay, so yeah.
There's pictures of what used to be a racetrack. It's now a baseball field. Things you didn't know before you came into here, did you, Rob?
Absolutely not.
All right. Let's see. What else on my baseball list of things? There's Dale Singer. What about my man Tom? That's what I want to talk to Tom about this one. Tom, what about my man stealing home right here?
Yeah,
against
Ramirez stole home, yeah.
Against Terry's Royals. And they go to instant replay on it. Have you seen this?
I've read about. I already stole home. I saw the headline.
Yeah, they had to go to instant replay on it because he was called out at first. So let's go to the umpire call of the day. That's why I was hoping Terry was here for this umpire call of the day. Let's see. Zach, hit that button.
Ramirez inching down the line. He's going to try to steal home. And he's out. Ramirez says challenge the play. Perez might be hurt.
Now, what Ramirez does here, Tom,
It certainly does by a lot.
I might be out if everybody's looking, but if I'm a smart base runner,
you can
I can
see
do this.
where Perez gets out of there.
He missed him.
He sure did. It looked like he got
stick that arm out at the last second.
He sure did.
And boom.
That's so hard to tell in live speed.
Especially where he's at. He's gotten blocked by the catcher.
You can't blame the catcher by no means.
No,
He's right position.
Right in every angle except
right position.
Until last
everything.
second, you stick your arm out, and boom. Now, a lot of people do this sliding on their butts better than they do sliding on their hands. But
lay their arm out.
I've slid in there. You slide in there head first, and going to second more often than as far as the catcher. Catchers usually do a good job because when you're going to second, you don't know whether the throw is going to be short, high, low, or whatever. So you go in that back corner of the bag and wait, and then try to grab it, and that's and Ramirez does a good job there. Missed him by like
he sure did.
Inch or two there.
Looked like he got in there.
Oh my goodness! What a slide by Jose Ramirez.
Looks like
You're fired, Blue.
Now, 9 out of 10 umpires are going to call him out on that.
All right, here is the number of perfect games thrown by each franchise. So for folks at home, I'll read them out loud or listen on the radio. The Yankees have 4 perfect games now. The White Sox 3. A's and Phillies have 2 apiece. And then 1 apiece for each of these folks. The Giants, Dodgers, Reds, Rangers, Diamondbacks, Mariners, Guardians, Angels, the Ruby Legs, the Montreal Expos. That's the Worcester Ruby Legs for you folks not familiar with Ruby Legs baseball. Montreal Expos, the Cleveland Naps, Tom, the Boston Pilgrims, and the Providence Grays. Those are all your perfect games in Major League Baseball history. For 5 teams that do not exist anymore have the perfect games. California Angels. Wonder why they did. That's the same team. Why wouldn't they just put the Anaheim Angels logo on that one? It's kind of weird. It is the same team. Why would they? Why would they? All right. Have you seen this cat that tried to get the and one call from the umpire, Tom?
No.
Y'all have and ones in baseball?
Not to my knowledge.
All right. Well, check out this guy. He tried to get the call from the umpire, and he didn't quite get it. Zach, leave that on.
And he now has 10 RBI against the Surge. Ground ball hit to third. Severino is going to pick it up, and now the runner's going to run backwards.
Oh, he got it!
and he does a little, almost like you would do the starting lineup, a little bump with Seth Gray, and he's out, and then he puts his arms up and gets it.
Yeah, felt the contact and went up with it. That's what you do.
For the folks listening on the radio, the runner was going to be out at first. He's got to be a catcher that did this. And he starts going backwards towards home, and he gets back. He can't go nowhere else. Then he tries to do a jump shot while he's tagged and get the and one from the umpire. And the umpire doesn't give him the and one. Doesn't give him the motion, Tom. He was in shooting motion, was he not?
What's he incredulous about?
He's just being funny and having fun at baseball.
Okay. Okay.
Trying to get the foul call. He did a James Harden.
Trying to get the foul call. Umpire didn't give him the call.
Jumping into somebody when
So if he's a good umpire, he calls him out, and then he points at the other guy and goes, 2 shots.
2 shots.
But we didn't get it. That umpire's like Tom. He didn't have a sense of humor.
You don't do that.
But what was that movie? Basketball. I mean, there you go. So.
You don't do that. That's awesome. Oh goodness. I gotta look this one up too. How's your Guardians doing, Tom? I'm pulling something up here.
They were in first place momentarily, but then they lost 2 in a row, so I haven't looked at it. They after they beat Terry's Royals 14-1, they lost. They had the lead and blew it in extra innings. Got clobbered by the Cubs yesterday, so they're win 1, lose 1. I mean, they're. I mean, if they get in the playoffs, I mean, how they gonna play somebody? I mean, like the Braves. I mean, it's like you can just tell they're just not. They're just not gonna get very far.
Well, at least they're not Kansas City.
So, guys, I sit here and talk quite often a lot about why the Cardinals aren't any good, and I tell you it's because we don't have a catcher anymore. And somebody posted here on the interweb that the Cardinals went to the NLCS after losing Albert Pujols, and they went to the World Series after losing Stan Musial. So you can't convince me that you're not going to tell me that Yadier is the reason that we're not any good. And then you pull up all the stats, and this one right here. How often this season have opponents? This is called stealing percentage. So if you are running against the Miami Marlins, there's a 90% chance you're stealing the base. They've only thrown out 10% of the runners. Dodgers 11%, Pirates 13%, lowest in Major League Baseball. The best 3 in Major League Baseball at 34%. Diamondbacks, Twins, and A's at 34% have caught their opponents stealing. Colorado at 33%. But guys, those are some low numbers, are they not? St. Louis, Atlanta, and Yankees at 22%.
Got those pizza box bases out there now, Kevin. And don't forget about that.
And one of the reasons I say that is because as in a career, Yadier Molina,
he wouldn't throw out 41% with the new rules. Can't throw over to first base but twice. It would have been down. It would have still been high, but it wouldn't have been 41%.
At 41%, that's his career average in 20 years.
Yeah,
so he had higher ones, obviously. But the fact that you got teams down at 10 and then the teens, like I wouldn't be happy if I was a coach. The 30s, well, I mean, anything below 30s, I wouldn't be happy with. Like,
but you can't throw to second base but twice. I mean, first base but twice, right? Can't throw it twice.
I don't even know all the new stupid rules.
And here's a question
honestly,
for
you've
you.
lost me once you did the ghost runners.
Yeah.
We got ghost runners, so we got fake runners out there running and scoring runs in extra innings.
No, you're talking ghost runner. You're talking about the guy that put it second base.
Yes, that's a ghost runner, is it not?
That's what we did when we were kids.
Well, he didn't earn his way there.
Man on second.
There's a ghost runner out there at second because he didn't get there on purpose.
I just want to know what the ghost runner's war is.
That's
right. Yeah, what's
like,
his war?
We argue about how important war is in getting on base. Like they talk about the guy Rob. That they say Schwarber's almost as good as hitter as the guy hitting 400 because his on base percentage is close to the same. Walks are not the same as base hits; they just aren't. And they talk and they lean into that. And I'm not. I've lost. So if that's important, a walk is so important. Why is it not important to put a guy at second base and for no reason? It's just baseball's lost a lot of me on that. They won't go to 140 games and expand the playoffs, but they'll do stuff like ghost runners and pitch clocks and this and that. Pitch clocks ain't a bad idea, but some of the stuff's just kind of weird.
Here's a question for you. 1982, Ricky Henderson steals 130 bases. With the rules today,
Ricky
Henderson
he might steal 200.
Bases?
Yeah,
200
and
bases.
you know, with that statistic, you can put the National League and American League base stealers together, and they didn't even hit that total together.
That's
the two
right.
top.
Yeah,
from what he stole. I mean, it was nuts.
So I can imagine what he would be doing.
I've said for years, and I've started to get back into baseball. I quit watching it for about 10 years, but they devalued small ball, and that drives me crazy. I like small ball. I like moving runners around. So
I think the Braves have devalued small ball too. Of course, before the game starts, they go up, up, down, down, and enter the cheat code before it starts. So.
Have you been in the new stadium?
I have not been to the new one.
So compared to the old stadium, it feels like a Cracker Jack box. Like it feels like they used to call Fulton County the launching pad.
Mm-hmm.
You go in that stadium, you feel like balls are flying out of this place. It just feels small. It really does. The Turner Field, open. It felt like a huge to see a ball get out. Like you see balls comparatively speaking. So this is how I tell how big Turner was. So at Busch Stadium, in St. Louis, those old cookie cutter stadiums, they'd go straight up, right? Well, I go out there, I see McGuire hit it in the upper deck. I see Pujols and Edmonds and them hit it about middle ways. I go to Atlanta, nobody but McGuire is hitting it past the first 15 rows of the bleachers in Turner Field. Like everybody's like they'll say 450 feet, and you're like, that barely cleared the wall. But this place, it just feels and looks like the balls. It's like a softball field. It feels and looks like. So I would play that
16
way. 16
runs a game.
Yeah, not that.
Hey, here's a question for you. All right, I take the National League All-Star team right now. I take the 3 Braves off that are starting, give you the next highest vote getter. I take that team and play the Atlanta Braves in a 5-game series. Pitching's equal. Who wins the 5-game series? I take the Braves.
I don't even know what you said to me, so. Tom, you got an answer for that one?
Yeah, you might have to repeat that one.
You take the National League All-Star team.
He's saying could the Braves beat the All-Star team?
You pull the 3 Braves off, take the next highest vote getters at their position. So that would be catcher, Ronald Acuña's position in the outfield, and Arcia at short. And I give you that lineup. I take the Braves in a 5-game series. I win the series with the Braves right now.
I don't know. You got to face that all-star pitching every day.
Pitching.
I say pitching equal.
Yeah,
that's the thing that I don't.
That'd be the only thing.
Lineup.
Oh yeah, okay. Because I was thinking pitching.
Yeah,
be
pitching
the
equal.
Only.
Just purely lineup based. Well,
I'll say this: they're scoring a ton of runs. I mean, even in that the other series, they lost the game 11-10 to the Reds.
We scored a lot of runs last year, but if you remember when we scored a lot of runs last year, we might have 16 one game and won the next. We had a hard time keeping a consistency.
Yep.
This year we're a little bit more consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so this is the stat I was talking about where they were talking about Schwarber at 181 is just as good a hitter at Austin Hayes at 319 now. This is according to the new stats. Because of the on-base percentages, he's got a better on-base percentage. He's reached base more times.
How was Schwarber still in the league? I remember when he first came in, he was
and batting leadoff for the Phillies. That's what gets me.
Because his own base percentage, he walks every bat. That's what makes Mike Trout so valuable. They walk so much. That's the only thing they ever talk about is the on base percentage of walks, and that is more valuable than a hit to the most folks nowadays. And I get it as a hitter. Look, you go to the plate, you're facing somebody batting. If I get one hit today, I'm batting 333. One hit and a walk, I get on my own base is 500. I'm successful. So, but these guys, you can't sit there and tell me 180 is good as 319 because he walked a couple extra more times than that guy. Like it's not even close. Singles and doubles are moving runners over, correct? Scoring runs.
Well, I remember in umpire school they said nobody walks to the major leagues. I'm like, well, Kyle Schwarber did. He used to be able to hit it a ton, though, man. I remember in that series when he was with the Cubs. He was in that series with the Indians, and it's like every time he came up, it was like, oh God. And he wasn't even in the field. He didn't play at home. And Cleveland had the home field advantage, which actually gave Chicago the advantage because Schwarber could play in the American League Park because he couldn't play in the field. He was hurt, but he could still hit. And it's like he was hitting a ton. Now he's hitting 181. He's batting leadoff.
How bad's the hitting, Tom? Here's your data set for you. From 97 to 2017, no more than one. From 97 to 2010, 0 teams batted under 235. 2001 through 2014, all had 1. 2015, 0. 16, 0. 2017, 1. And then it starts getting silly. Starting in 2018, 4 teams hit under 235, 0 in 2019. But in 2020, 9 teams, 2021, 4 teams, and 2022, 10 teams, and this year so far, 8 teams. So 1/4 of Major League Baseball is hitting under 235. It's just insane how bad the hitting is.
Yeah, it is pitiful, isn't it? It's pitiful.
And here's the thing. So you talk about, isn't the idea supposed to be able to score more runs, right?
Yeah.
So let's look up some all-time stats here. I meant to bring this up last week. Major League batting averages yearly. Fun little internet. All right. Runs per year. For the folks looking, I've got that. So this year it's 4.5, right? Well, let's go back to 2000. It's 5.14. So there's less runs. So you're going to tell me that on-base percentage matters. You're swinging up on the ball matters. Hitting more balls out instead of getting on base matters, but you're scoring less runs a game from 20 years ago.
Sorry. Does it tell you batting averages?
Yeah. Right here.
Yeah,
Is this column. 248 now.
Yep.
20 years ago,
a big
270.
Difference. That's a big difference. 30 points.
22 points.
Big difference.
Yeah, but you're always the
batting
one.
average.
You're always the one saying that's misleading because it's only 3% less.
Yes, yes, correct. But across,
it's only 3%
across the board in a
big pool,
as far as like a team setting, one extra hit, a few extra bats is kind of big on that. On base percentage now back then was better. 20 years ago, 345. Now it's 319. So we were always told by the TV every day is bigger, faster, stronger.
Look at the slugging percentage.
Better now.
Exit velocity, baby. That's what
Exit
all
velocity.
the time.
Look at slugging percentage.
Hits, less runs, less singles, doubles are down, triples are down. Everything across the board is down. Stolen bases are the same now. They jumped up though. Y'all see they were 70 in 1999, 0.7. Now they're 0.72, but the whole thing in the middle was all in the
jump,
50s and 40s.
Look at the jump from last year.
Yeah,
because
50,
of the
40,
because
50,
of the
50,
rule
50,
and the
50,
pizza
50.
box bases. Yeah,
it's just it's lies that you get told by the TV that everything now is bigger, faster, stronger, better. At some point, like nobody's beat Secretariat's records, have they? Whatever his time record. The horses got more steroids now. I promise you. They work out more. They prepare more.
They're dying more too.
Right. And so, but they're
none of them beating
his
pretty
records.
rough on them this year.
Anyway, I just a little rant on some of this crazy stuff that we're doing here with these
Talking
stats.
about those numbers though, look at the Orioles record compared to the Phillies record. I think I'll take the 300 batter when I look at those when I look at those records. So.
Tampa's in first in the East. Baltimore, Yankees, Blue Jays, all over 500.
Still
and now
hold-
the Red Sox under 500.
Still holding suit on the
Top 10 teams in America. Yeah, the East and the Central are still in order, Rob. So Minnesota's in 6th, Guardians in 7th. Guardians one game back of the Minnesota Twins. They're in the Central. Under 500, the whole division. Tom, that's just awesome.
it's pitiful.
I thought we were going to have the worst division of baseball. Y'all just keep making it worse. What's wrong with the Midwest baseball right now?
I mean, you got a few outside. Well, Chicago, you got some smaller market teams that can't write the check for the hitter. That's all.
Well, and what you've done too, with them changing the schedule, you're not getting to beat up on a division team like we have in the past. Now the balanced schedule, you're playing everybody more. And to me, that's really exposing where the weaknesses are based on all the teams.
Reds moved over the last couple of weeks. Like
the Cardinals give up the second most runs in the National League. It has nothing to do with Yadier Molina not being there. Not at all. The Rockies, though, wow, 500 runs this year.
How about the Diamondbacks?
They've given up. I know y'all can't see that. Oh, I'm sorry. Look at this. The Rockies give up 500 runs.
God. They've given up a lot.
I gotta see what Kansas City's giving up. 445. Ain't even close.
Wow.
Oakland's give up the most at 530.
Yeah, Oakland's not very good.
Like 8 runs a game.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's pretty bad.
Braves in first. 7 games up on the Marlins. Marlins over 500. Phillies over 500. They're 11 games back. Mets and Nationals.
Another impressive thing with the
Goodbye.
Braves is that run differential. When you look at the rest of the National League, I mean, they're just crushing it.
Crazy.
Yeah, when you got more runs and give up the least runs, that's a pretty good formula there, Rob.
When I was listening to the Braves game the other night, they were in Cincinnati and they were saying like Cincinnati hasn't had an atmosphere this electric in a long time. Leading their division, they're 6 games above 500. Nothing spectacular, but they've waited a long time for competitive baseball up there. And I thought Pittsburgh was going to have I mean, they're 5-5 in the last 10, but they went through a little streak there where I think they lost 10 games in a row after they were in first place. So in Chicago, I'm just, they had that 2016 World Series. They just haven't done much since in the last 6-7 years.
Did you know that Ellie De La Cruz was a twin?
No. Yeah, De La Cruz hit for the cycle the other day. Last week.
Mm-hmm.
Hit for the cycle against the Braves.
Yeah, against the Braves.
So he has a twin brother. Wow.
His twin brother is 5'8".
Oh, so they're not identical twins.
They're Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
But this is a picture of him and his twin brother. Like I said, 5'8", and he's 6'5".
Wow. That's crazy.
I'm like, brother, I'm your agent, manager, whatever you need, anytime of day.
I gave you all the
you got all the good
here.
you got all the good DNA here. You got to take care of bro here.
Where's he from? The Dominican Republic?
Not sure. Let's see.
Can't remember where he was from. I want to say he's Dominican. But I tell you, he's tearing it up though, man. He's got
You can hit it 400 feet and be one of the fastest people in baseball. He's 6'5". From Sabana Grande del Boya in the Dominican Republic.
I thought he was Dominican. Yeah.
I might have got that right. I doubt it. I might have got that right.
A lot of good players from there. He's really got him excited up there. Like, I'm glad to see some of these mid-market teams a little competitive. Of course, they get in the playoffs. They don't stand a chance against.
And then they get
teams.
all their players picked off from them.
Oh, yeah.
Ohtani hit his 30th home run, 493 feet. Chapman traded to the Rangers. Guardians Francona's back after missing 3 games.
Yeah, he was sick. They didn't really disclose too much about the illness, but he was in the hospital.
Where are the all-star listings? I was going to go through those.
Need him back. Got thumped twice in a row without him.
Are the complete teams named or just the starters?
Just the starters.
And
the rest of the team, I believe.
When is that? Next week? All-star?
The week after. There's one more week. This coming week of the regular season.
After the 4th.
Yeah.
So I know Arenado from St. Louis made it. Catchers in the All-Star game, Sean Murphy of Atlanta and Jonah Heim of Texas. Over at first base, Freddie Freeman, 4th selection, and Yandy Diaz of Tampa. Second base, Reyes of Miami and Simeon of Texas. Third base, Arenado of St. Louis and Jung of Texas. Shortstop, Arcia of Atlanta and Sager in Texas. DH is J.D. Martinez of the Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani for the American League. National League outfield, Acuna Jr. in Atlanta, Mookie Betts from the Dodgers, and Corbin Carroll of Arizona. American League outfield, Mike Trout of the Angels, Arizarena of Tampa Bay, and Aaron Judge of the Yankees.
Who'd you say the catchers were?
Mike Trout's hitting 250.
254. Good job, Aaron.
All-star center field. All-star center field.
His on base percentage got him in.
Jonah Heim. Or Heem, or I don't know how to say. I don't know how to say it. Either any of y'all know how to say that?
Nope.
Mike Trout batting 254, 17 home runs.
But his OPS is 85%. That's pretty good.
See, Michael Harris should have been in there before Trout.
Anybody should have. Overrated player in baseball history.
He's got a lot of playoff wins.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
he's only got like one more playoff hit than everybody at this table.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Think about that.
That's nuts.
Reyes is at 390 right now, so the chase for 400 is close. Acuna at 333. Only 11 batters in Major League Baseball are over 300. Let's see how far back the chart will take us. 2002, we had
yeah, look at all those.
35 players.
Look at Ryan Klesko up there batting 300.
Yeah,
35 players over 300.
Yeah, Klesko's with the Braves for a while.
And if you count 297 as 300, all the way up to 39 at Derek Jeter. So you got 30,
Ellis
9
Burks was
players
301. Wow.
batting
Jim
297 or
Tobin's
better, and now you have 11. 11. That's just stupid.
And they wonder why they have some issues.
People like me that don't want to watch with your ghost runners on and everybody striking out, and your pitcher's leading baseball in home runs. The Angels pitcher's leading baseball in home runs.
Is Ohtani leading in home runs?
Yes, look, 30.
30. Wow.
He's got 30, and Olson's got 28, I believe.
Wow.
The Angels pitcher is on pace to tie Babe Ruth for home runs this year. Matt Olson, Pete Alonso, Robert Jr., Soler, Betts, Schwarber, Garcia, and Acuna, all with 20.
We're a Guardian now, I guess.
There are no Indians on this list, all Guardians, and I don't think y'all are even on this list. Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, I know.
13 home runs. I'm looking at home runs right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what you were.
Yeah,
now, the most important stat on here, though, we'll go over to WAR. And Acuna's got 4.9. Wander Franco's got 4.3. And Ohtani, who pitches and hits, has less than those two.
First time since like 1890 something that they've had what he's done.
Anyway. Oh, well, you talking about pitching and something? Yeah, it's incredible. All right, when we come back, we got NFL, NCAA, we've got basketball and more. KDC NBA free agency on KDCBroadcasting.com.
If you're ready to make the great escape, do it with the #1 brand on the water. Yamaha wave runners are the most premium personal watercraft on the market with industry-first features and exciting new products like the all-new 2022 VX Series with audio packages, the most-anticipated Superjet, and the new race-ready GP Series. This is Wave Runner Country. See one today at Full Throttle Power Sports, 100 Indian Walk off I-85 in Laurel.
For over 60 years, Boyd Tire and Appliance has been serving the Clover and surrounding area with the finest quality of home appliances, televisions, lawn equipment and parts, tires, and more. They feature in-house financing with 90 days same as cash, and they service what they sell. Drop by their showroom at 110 North Main Street in Clover, open 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday. Call 803-222-3231 for Boyd Tire and Appliance and Boyd Lawn and Garden. Online at BoydTireandAppliance.com.
More have arrived. More cars to choose from at Cars, Trucks, and Credit in Lincoln. Just arrived this week a 2005 Toyota Corolla at $12.99 down. A 2006 Pontiac G6 at $14.99 down. A 2009 Honda Civic at $17.99 down. And a 2008 Acura MDX at $19.99 down. They have a payment plan for you at Cars, Trucks, and Credit. 604 Clark Drive in Lincoln. Online at ctcautosports.com and like them on Facebook too. The Great Outdoors in Cherryville has just received a big new shipment of guns. Just arrived the Bergara B-14 Ridge Wilderness, the B-14 Carbon Wilderness, and the B-14 Hunter. Also a good shipment of CBA muzzle loaders, including the CBA Wolf and the CBA Optima B2. The Great Outdoors have the Tradition Nitro Fires and the Savage 110 Ultralights and a big selection of Christensen arms. Hurry in now before they're gone at the Great Outdoors, Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right behind McDonald's. Online at teamgreatoutdoors.com, see their page at whatsupshopper.com, and like them on Facebook too. Race on into Adams Auto Group in Dallas for the best deals on wheels. Senior Manager Jason Hunt for some great deals, including a 2022 Toyota Sienna XLE van, 21,000 miles, priced at $45,900. Or scoot around town in a 2020 Subaru Legacy LTD, only 18,000 miles, priced at $28,900. And check out a big 2021 Ram 2500 Bighorn truck with 52,000 miles, priced at $41,700. That's Adams Auto Group, 520 East Trade Street in Dallas at the Dallas-Stanley Highway intersection. Online at adamsautogroup.com. Check out the great bag sale going on now at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply in Lincoln. Like 3 bags of mulch for $10 as long as it lasts. Choose from red, brown, black, cedar, pine, mini pine, and large pine nuggets. Rubber mulch not included. Also, 40-pound bags of topsoil and 20-pound bags of potting soil, 3 for $12. Select from Farmer Green and Green Magic Potting Soil. Save now during the big bag sale at Bean Brothers Hardware and Supply, 969 Reachville Road in Lincoln. Online at beanbrothershardware.com and like them on Facebook too. Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks in Lowell is always hiring. You need a job? There's one waiting for you at Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks in Lowell. And also right now, Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks, they're looking for barbecue eaters. That's right, barbecue eaters. Plus, they have chicken, steaks, ribs, all kinds of sides and salads. And of course, they do catering. Ask about their party packs at Hillbilly's Barbecue and Steaks, 305 South Main Street in Lowell. Yum, yum. Y'all come.
And we're back with Saturday Morning Sports Talk with Kevin and the gang. They got a few more things to talk about today.
All right, welcome back to the broadcast. Kevin Hastings and Rob Roop in the house tonight for Terry Reinhart and Tom Stinifani, Zach Mayu. And we're going to start off with dissension in Italy, Tom. Dissension in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
The Italian team president calls Paolo Banchero's decision to play with USA a mockery. Number one, did you know that Paolo Banchero was Italian?
No.
Either one of y'all?
No, I'm a Duke fan. I had no idea.
You did not know that. I thought that was a Latin name. I know Latin's it is based in that. But Tom, did you even know? Is that a? I didn't know that was an Italian name.
If it ends in a vowel, could be Italian.
I assumed it was Latin American.
I did too.
The whole name. But Paolo is actually not from Italy. His mom is like half Italian or something like that, and he was gonna play for the U.S. and then this cat got mad about it. So,
have you seen the U.S.'s team?
No,
it's like scrubs.
Well, yeah, there's one of them. No,
he's probably the best player we got.
He's the best out there.
He's actually pretty decent.
You're talking about the Olympics or the
FIBA? Is it FIBA?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
FIBA team. They don't send out the great team to the FIBA. They usually send a great team to the Olympics, but our team's
there's Tom in the
led by Cam Johnson
getting mad at
Paolo Tar Heel.
Whatever.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, the story was funny because he's like from Oregon or something like that, but he's got some Italian blood. And they tried to claim him.
Who's
Banchero?
He's from Oregon.
It's from somewhere weird. It ain't even. He's not from Italy.
Okay.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Ty, you don't remember, do you? Rob. That's what's so funny about it. Let's see. Paolo Banchero. I guess I could click on the Wikipedia or article.
As much as I hate Duke, he's a pretty good basketball player.
Oh yeah. What did he play? Like 6 games?
Seattle, Washington. So
he's from Seattle, and the Italians are mad because he's not. Okay, whatever. We're good.
He's never. I don't even know if he's ever been in Italy.
Yeah. Well, if we saw some of the soccer teams, you can play for anybody you want to.
Oh yeah. Like,
right?
That French team was about as French as I am. That was a joke. An old Macron out there. Yeah, I'm sure Macron's out there.
They got all kinds of new recruits now if you've been watching the news, Tom.
What's that?
They've got all kinds of new recruits now if you've been watching the news.
No.
In France. They're riding in France right now. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I saw that.
What they write? They were writing about the retirement age.
A migrant was shot by a French policeman, and then the migrants have set the city on fire.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what's going on in France right now. In Paris, they're burning Paris, trying to burn it to the ground.
Again.
If we have the Olympics there next year, they better be
careful.
careful.
Tom brought his iPad to
I'm
work
serious,
today.
It might not be. All right, next one. So let's talk a little about these NBA free agency and these salaries.
Some of these numbers.
Desmond Bain, after 3 years in the league, gets a 4-year, $207 million max contract.
$40 million a year.
So let's think about this. Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player of all time, between his ticket sales, shoe sales, jersey sales, all the money he made going up to the time that he bought the Charlotte Hornets, he bought the Charlotte Hornets for $175 million. Desmond Bain, whose career this year average best was 21 points a game this year, has just signed a contract for more money than what Jordan paid for the Hornets. So he's going to get paid more than what Michael Jordan made pretty much in his career in 4 years. Desmond Bain. Anybody y'all know who Desmond Bain, what college he went to?
No idea.
I'll give you $1. Anybody know can name what college he went to? TCU.
Charlotte.
That's just as close as the other three were. TCU. So this guard from TCU, not even the best player on the Memphis Grizzlies, is getting $200 million. So, like, we've talked about this in the past. At some point, when the role players are getting a certain amount of money, how do you expect them to do any type of a role like hustle or dial on the floor?
Everybody automatically gets the max. It ain't never like, you're not good enough to get that. We're not paying you this. And there's no eye test to it anymore. They just give the money and go on about the business.
It says they're available. So this is, everybody's wondering where all this money's come from. This is China money. This is why they won't say anything bad about it.
Exactly right.
Or say anything bad about it. And so you wonder where all this money's come from. Tom, did you see y'all's new basketball player y'all signed for $60 million?
Yeah, I saw that. The guy from Philadelphia.
Miami.
Oh,
Max Struss, you signed this cat for 4 years.
There's another guy
and
from
$63 million.
There's another guy they signed from Philadelphia. Gosh, I can't remember his name.
I'm going down through all this ridiculous.
But
Halliburton is nuts.
You got me interested in Banchero, even though his parents did meet at the University of Washington. His father does have Italian citizenship, but the guy spent his entire life in Washington State. So what? That's the craziest thing. I was like, okay, maybe he went to school. Maybe his parents took him over there, and it's like it just never happened.
He's never even been to Italy, has he?
I don't know if he's been, but he's never lived there. Said he played basketball at the Boys and Girls Club in Seattle, Washington.
He said he had lasagna one time.
He said he had tiramisu, I guess.
His
favorite crazy.
He went to the Olive Garden.
That's stupid.
Why? Yeah, in name, image, likeness. Somebody should have swiped him up back in the day.
Desmond Bain, guys, y'all don't even know what college. He's only played 3 years in the league. 9 points, 18 points, 21 points a game, and he played 58 games this year.
Well, he scored 21 points a game.
21, and they gave him
3 times more than Draymond.
That's 3 times more than Draymond.
He got double the money.
$200 million. He did get double the money, Draymond. It used to be a point per $1 million you can score, basically.
Draymond actually got a pay cut.
And now it's I don't even know what.
Draymond's awesome.
So
$25 million a year for
Draymond.
8 points and 6 rebounds. That's crazy.
I feel so bad for Steph Curry. I really do. The NBA's doing this to him. They have to be.
And then everybody else is brainwashed to believe the Kool-Aid.
Like, you're not passing LeBron. Here's Chris Paul. Here's Draymond Green. Like that's like between them they're gonna make $50 million.
Honestly,
you tell me I can't find anybody that can score between them added together. Oh my gosh, let's just add their stats.
I would rather have Draymond than Chris Paul.
No, I'd rather have anybody except Draymond.
Oh, Chris Paul, man, he's not going to play in the playoffs.
The backup point guard, like how are they going to play? Like, Draymond plays the same position Chris Paul does he not, on offense?
And their offense, like, how does he translate to their offense? They move.
Well, Draymond stands at the top of the key, and they move. Everyone else runs.
He's not going to do that.
Now, Chris Paul wants to stand at the top and let everybody run around him.
So, let's go. Let's see. Last year, Chris Paul averaged 13, 4, and 8. And what'd you say Draymond was last year?
8, 7, and 6.
8, 7,
8, 7, and 6.
8, 7, 6. So added together, 21, 11, and 14. They're going to pay $50-some million for all that between two people.
It's because they're leaders.
That's a lot of money. I'm not familiar with the cap thing is right now.
That's why he's pouting when he doesn't get the ball, and that one clip kind of sticks.
Who are they going to guard?
That's exactly
Who is that team going to guard at all?
Draymond's
Chris Paul ain't guard nobody.
Draymond's defensive player of the year, man. What are you talking
about? That's way long ago. Chris Paul's not. Listen. Clay, Curry, Paul, and Draymond are all 35 and older, right? Or
Draymond's 33, I think.
Like, I just don't. I don't know who they're going to guard. They better get Wiggins. They better re-sign Wiggins, and see if they do.
Well,
how's that lineup stopping Denver? We talked about that last week. 6'9", or 6'10", 6'10", and 7 foot across the board.
Draymond will lock down Jokic.
How are those?
He'll lock him down.
How are those old fellas keeping up with Phoenix?
They're not.
I just don't see how you can sit there and say we've got $50 million. Let's spend it on Draymond Green and Chris Paul.
They've had their run. They're done.
I think so too.
Yeah, they're sputtered because we all know Klay Thompson ain't what he was.
No, none of them are.
I mean, you still got Steph, but he gets hurt a little bit now too. So.
Curry needs to go somewhere where he can win.
I agree.
That's exactly right.
If he ain't gonna do that, come to Charlotte.
Well, Draymond said. Draymond said, "Y'all thought I was going to sign with LeBron. I'm bringing LeBron and Bronny to the Bay."
No, he's not.
They still wouldn't win.
So LeBron
you're not beating the Denver
So the
team.
theory is that LeBron's on a 1-year contract. Whoever drafts Bronny next year, he's going to play for. So it's incentivizing teams to draft him earlier than he should be drafted.
Right.
Or to draft him at all when he probably won't be drafted. Period.
So some teams teams are already tanking and everything.
Wasn't the best player on his high school team.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, come on. He scored like 15 points a game in high school. What do you think he's going to do in the NBA?
Yep.
Maybe his war's better.
So you think he's going to be a lottery pick anyway, even though he
doesn't?
Oh, yeah. He'll be a lottery pick.
Where's he going to play next year?
If that's Tom, you're drafting
USC.
But you're drafting LeBron. You're not drafting Bronny. You're saying, I'm drafting LeBron. It's worth 3 years to see if Bronny is worth anything on a rookie contract to have LeBron James come to your franchise.
Especially if you get him at 10, because how many scrubs are at 10?
What if you give him at 5? What if Jordan picked him? Wouldn't that be hilarious? If the Bulls would pick him.
Yeah.
I mean the Hornets. All right, guys. Here's some thoughts. So Tyrese Halliburton just got $260 million in his next contract. This is the all-time list of basketball amount of money they made while playing basketball. And Desmond Bane just got $200 million. He's almost in the top 10 of all time. Desmond Bane almost has made much money as anyone in basketball history, and he played 3 years in the league, and he averaged 21 points a game. LeBron James is first at $430 million. Chris Paul, $350. Kevin Durant, $350. Russell Westbrook, $330. Kevin Garnett, $330. Kobe, $320. Steph, $300. James Harden, $300 million. And from the most money from the previous generation, Shaq, $286 million. So Shaq, Kobe, and Garnett, drafted in the 90s, pretty much topped out at $330 million. And Desmond Bane just got paid $200 million. Tyrese Halliburton just got $260.
Got John Wall sitting down there as the scrub that he was.
Think about that in their careers, and I'm talking about this is a 4-year contracts these guys are signing, 5-year contracts, and Desmond Bane's making as much.
Third
money.
best player on the team.
it's.
I mean, that Halliburton got $50 million a year.
Yep, $260.
Starting to buy into your China money theory.
Where else is it coming from?
And they never speak out against them.
Van Fleet, 3 years, $130 million.
For Houston.
For Fred Van Vliet.
He's the NBA champion, right?
Yes, so is Will Perdue. He's got 5.
I just made a statement, Kevin.
I did too.
Van Fleet's scrappy. He's about 5'6", but he's scrappy.
Herb Jones, 4 years, $54 million. Half as much as Shaq got.
Is he even a starter?
I have no idea who he is.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't even know Herb Jones.
I don't either.
So this guy got half as much. He got half as much as
Sounds
Shaq.
like my uncle.
Remember, Shaq's big contract was $110 million, and they had a heart attack over it.
Herb.
And the Hornets couldn't give Alonzo Mourning his money? The crap.
Joe Ingles gets $11 million.
Joe Ingles, is he on the grocery store?
Hey, JP, does Joe Ingles on the grocery store?
He will after this contract.
No, that's Elmer.
Okay.
Chris Middleton, $102 million. Now, here's what's funny about all these deals. And here's where the money, how it adds up in the NBA. You can re-sign your own players for way much more. Middleton, all these guys re-signing with their own teams with these big contracts.
Yeah, but look at the deal that he got. He only got $30 million a year. Halliburton ain't better than Middleton.
But yeah, he probably is now.
Think so?
Yeah, 3 years, $30 million for number 2 or 3 option. George Yang got $12 million a year.
That's what I was talking about. That guy. I didn't know how to say his name.
I was guessing Yang. It might be Niang. I don't know.
I remember that guy somehow playing for Philadelphia, though. I do remember.
Whoever Javon Carter is.
We
got
had
3 years,
Biyombo sitting on the bench for $15 million a year.
And poor Kobe White only gets 3 years and $40 million to stay with the Bulls.
Yep, they're paying these guys.
Kyle Kuzma, 4 years, $102 million, $25 million a year for Kyle Kuzma.
He got more than Draymond.
Remember Michael?
He needs a little money for them tattoos.
There's the Cavs with
LeVert. LeVert drives me nuts.
$16 million a
he
year.
Either scores 60 or 6. You know, I mean, he's just.
Well, $16 million a year ain't bad for that. Then
no, I mean he's just
for not consistent.
Sometimes, man, I cuss him more than anybody else on the team because he's like, stop shooting. You know, he's one of those guys.
Barnes gets 18.5 a year from Sacramento for 3 more years. And then James Harden is picking up his $35 million option, but asking for a trade. And so this is a lot of guys are like, why did Kyrie re-sign with Dallas? And this is what they're doing: is you can re-sign for way more money
and get traded.
You pick your destination. I don't like it for a year. I cause some trouble. Trade me. And now I want to be a Laker. Now all of a sudden, Dallas is getting nothing for Kyrie. So
where's Harden heading? You think?
Well, the rumors were he wanted to go to Houston, but Houston players in Houston don't want him back. Chicago has been mentioned.
Heat.
Miami has also been mentioned, but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow he ends up in the Laker land here.
I'm gonna say the Clippers.
James Harden has sold out to play with about everybody in the NBA so far, but LeBron. So
I'm glad they still hadn't won.
I'm worried about that. John Collins, how about 3 years, $78 million? Yeah. For John. I'm about done with that. All right. When we come back, we're going to finish up with, we've got still some Carolina Panthers news. We've still got NCAA news and notes and a couple more things here, some fun tweets and much more. KDCBroadcasting.com.
Kathy Moore, the new owner of Papa's Pizza to Go in Cherryville, invites you to come see them. They are now open 11 a.m. till 9 p.m., Sunday through Thursday, 11 to 10, Friday and Saturday nights. Dine in or take out at Papa's Pizza to Go. Just call 704-435-6335 and enjoy their big buffet on Wednesdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. until 7:30. It's all you can eat. Check out their new menu with pizza, subs, wings, salads, and more. And check out the new games, too, in the game room. Papa's Pizza to Go, 1002 East Main Street in Cherryville. Online at papaspizzatogo.com and like them on Facebook, too. Not one, but 2 big trucks have backed up and unloaded 2 truckloads of scratch and dent refrigerators at Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center in Shelby. These come with a 1-year warranty, but hurry, they won't last long. Also, they still have Speed Queen washers and dryers, and Speed Queen is the only residential washer not to have a lid lock. Come check them out, and don't forget about their selection of mattresses. Sleep tight on a new mattress tonight. From Hendrick Appliance and Mattress Center, 1241 East Dixon Boulevard in Shelby, on the right going down, on the left coming up. Grizzly the Greeter says, come on in for a great Rain-X carport installation special. Take 50% off all Rain-X products for your metal building now through July. And ask how you can win a brand new Yeti cooler. Drawing will be held at the end of July. But that's not all. Save an additional $200 on any returned building in stock. Get local delivery and installation at Blessed Buildings and Tiny Homes. Highway 150 East in Cherryville, right across from Ace Hardware. Online at blessedbuildings-tinyhomes.com. At SNR Auto Sales in Shelby, they don't just sell cars and trucks, they buy cars and trucks too. Hey, they will buy your car or truck today. Just go by and let them give you an offer. Hey, it's convertible weather. See what SNR Auto Sales in Shelby has on the lot. Let your hair down and ride around town in a new convertible from SNR Auto Sales in Shelby. That's SNR Auto Sales, 417 South Post Road in Shelby. Online at srautosales.com and like them on Facebook too. It's time for the Red, White, and Blue Sales event, now through July 8th at Country Cabin Corner in Kings Mountain. During this time, you save thousands of dollars. For example, a brand new 2023 camper trailer starting at $99.95. No extra freight or prep fees added. And coming Wednesday, July 5th, is the American Red Cross Blood Drive from 2 until 6. Make your appointment by calling 704-734-0595 and give the gift of life. Don't miss the Red, White, and Blue sale at Country Cabin Corner, 101 Oak Grove Road at the Highway 74 bypass in Kings Mountain. Online at countrycamping.com. Like them on Facebook too.
It's time to head to the mountains. Crowder's Mountain Golf Course, that is. The new winter rates are now in. Playing right 18 holes Monday through Friday for just $25. Seniors just $22. On weekends, playing right 18 holes for $35 and seniors just $30. And ladies, your day is Monday. Ladies playing right on Mondays for only $20 at the Crowthers Mountain Golf Course. 255 Lincoln Academy Road, Kings Mountain at the foot of beautiful Crowthers Mountain. For tee times, call 704-739-7681.
And we're back for the last leg of the race for the guys.
Gotta do better than that, JP.
Yeah, I will say that. We were talking in between. The Atlanta Braves have sold out 28 games this year. 28. And I know they
played about 70.
Probably played about 40 at home, give or take. That's pretty good. I mean, for baseball to be selling out, I don't know how many seats they have down there, but I remember Turner Field when I've been down there a couple of times. The parking was a nightmare. I don't know if the parking's any better.
Oh, parking's terrible. From what I hear, parking's terrible.
Okay,
at
still
Truist.
terrible.
You got to walk like a mile.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, it seems like
unless you're handicapped. Handicapped parking's right up at the stadium. But if you're not handicapped, it's like at least a mile walk to the stadium.
Yeah, I can't. When I parked in Cleveland, we had to walk a little bit, but it wasn't too bad.
They put it right next to the highway and a bridge, so like it's all streets. It's not. It's just hard to do. It's just, but like I said, good field, a nice field. I like it. I'm not a Braves fan, but I like the field. It's good. If I was a Braves fan, I'd be completely happy with it. It's nice and a bunch of things to do. The only thing I would probably ask for is a little more walking width room in the outfield, because that's where all the entertainment stuff is, like inside the wall or on the outfield, and it's just that's where everybody is. That's not sitting in their seats, so it's just jam packed out there in the outfield. Maybe a little bit more room, but they've got all kinds of stuff to do out there. It's very entertaining. The little museum there is nice and air conditioned, so that's a good place to slip away to if you need to. All right, let's go over to NFL. Tom. Zach, you ready for your new quarterback?
Yeah.
They still gonna win the division like we talked about? They still gonna win the division?
Don't put no Andy Dalton out there. I mean, seriously.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will.
I mean, if they do that, I was like, come on. I mean, what I'm saying is, there was this old philosophy: is you do them like Jordan Love, you leave them on the. I'm saying, man, put the kid in. I mean,
how'd that benefit Jordan Love setting him out? Now he's third stringer. Is it Jordan Love? No, I was thinking of San Francisco. Who's their guy?
Jordan Love started.
Sorry, San Francisco guy. Trey Lance. He's third string.
So here's the NFL stat of the day: the most arrests since 2000.
Browns have 33.
The most arrests since
Bengals have 42.
2000.
That's because we take law enforcement seriously in Ohio. we got 75 arrests. Who's got the most of Broncos? Huh?
Yeah. Broncos with 47 arrests since 2000.
Eagles only 15.
That's exactly right. Upstanding gentlemen as well as a great football team, baby.
I'm going to say there's got to be an asterisk on that.
Don't they have a jail in the stadium?
Y'all have a jail in the stadium.
That was the old one.
I don't think these arrests are being reported in Philadelphia, are they?
So they don't have a jail in the new stadium?
I think this is a fictitious number for Philadelphia, being the number one safest, least arrest by football players. The fans are the ones getting arrested, right, Rob?
Yeah.
Not the players.
I'd say I'd probably a better chance of that happening.
But I just thought that was it. Philadelphia and Detroit have the lowest number of player arrests. That's just, I might not believe those stats there, Tom.
Yeah, but nobody's got Ray Caruth.
Look, Houston's only got 16. That's what just one. Deshaun Watson was even arrested for any of that.
It was not indicted. He had to be arrested if he's up for indictment, but he was not in. Yeah, arrest doesn't mean anything though.
Panthers 23.
That's the
Cowboys 24.
That's the thing. You're not even allowed to bring up if somebody was arrested in court. Right. You can't bring that up. I mean, you'd have to be guilty of something before you could even bring it up, because you can arrest a ham sandwich,
You can indict one too.
Yep. Can arrest or indict a ham sandwich. Conviction's a little different.
Hey, how about Devin Allen, Eagles wide receiver, special teams player, ran the 4th fastest time in the world in the 110 hurdles.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Wow.
Let's put him out there returning kicks this year.
Who's he play for?
For the Eagles.
Oh, okay. Well.
Who was the Panthers guy that was the speed returner? Do y'all remember his name?
Ted Ginn?
No. There was a guy before him that was used to run like track and stuff like that. We put him out there to do kick returns, but it was back in like the 03 team. I have to research that.
He hate me.
awesome.
Not him.
Rod Smart was pretty good.
Not he hate me. You talking about Rocky Ishmael?
No, I'll have to pull it up. It was we'll get it in a minute.
Well, I really don't have too much, or if anything, NFL's boarding season right now, guys. You got anything on that?
They're still waiting on landing spots for Hopkins right now.
Mm-hmm. I want to move over to these.
Okay. Well, it's interesting you bring up Hopkins. Okay, so everybody's like, how does Houston let this guy walk? Remember?
Yeah.
And it's like he goes to Arizona and they let him walk.
Yep.
Does anybody think there's maybe something wrong with his cat?
I'm telling you.
You know, I mean, it's just like you can put up the numbers, but I think chemistry in your locker room and all that's important. What's this guy doing? But you know who's been the rumor mill is Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And then they try to dream up all those Deshaun Watson's upset because Cleveland's not aggressively pursuing Hopkins. Number one, he needs to be quiet if he's complaining about it. Just go ahead and be quiet right now. Number two, I don't even think Cleveland would have the cap space because, you know, of how they would have to redo some other stuff. Now, they've been creative. I'll give Cleveland credit. They've been creative with their salary cap issues. But how much are you going to have to pay this guy to come there?
And I don't know.
And they signed some receivers in the offseason. So, I mean, I just don't. I mean, why would he be upset? Because he's his friend. I mean, obviously he's an issue.
The good thing is right now, free agency, where you're at now, you're getting into the 1-year deal, prove it territory for guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you have a chance now to start bringing in some of those guys on those kind of deals, which I think you're going to start to see happening.
But if you give a 1-year deal for Hopkins, it's going to be I would say at least 16.
Winnie.
I would say at least 15 or 16
he said
million.
he wanted Odell money. What did Odell get? Do we know? 19?
I think, I don't think he got 20.
Yeah. I mean, I would say somewhere between $15 to $20 million, but they've already got Cooper on the roster paying him crazy money.
If nobody wants him, they can incentive-laden it pretty heavily. If nobody else is wanting him, I mean.
But it is interesting that a guy that good is not on a roster if there's not something I'm not saying he's on the level of what's the
Terrell.
Yeah, what's the nut that quit and threw his jersey in the stands?
Brown.
Play for Tampa. Yeah, I don't think he's on that level. But I mean, I'm just saying, you know, there's some red flags with the guy, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what it is, but he's an awfully good player to be hunting a job.
Those front offices know a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, man, you got to be, you know, football. I think if you get the wrong person in that locker room, man, that could be a problem.
Ask Philadelphia back in the 03s or
maybe
whatever it was.
Slow and has some type of injury that nobody's really talking about.
And that could be it, Kevin. That's a decent thesis there. What kind of injury does this guy have? What's wrong? You know, what's wrong with him?
Is he not going to be in training camp and he's just going to be here maybe week 1 or 2? And I don't know. How old is he?
32. 32.
Listen, can y'all name one receiver that's ever been signed? And then we're like, hey, and then they went to the Super Bowl because of that. Like Randy Moss didn't do it, T.O. didn't do it, like
Jerry didn't.
I mean, nobody just like, hey, we got this wide receiver, and then he made his team better. Like T.O. was there for a couple of years before they made the Super Bowl, but it's not like I'm just trying to remember of a time where somebody got a big signature or something.
Kevin's never been real big on paying a wide receiver a lot of money. You know. I think you got to pay him a little bit more than running backs because the style of play. You know, I mean, you know, but you're not going to see a lot of running backs getting crazy, stupid money. A few, but not many. But at the same time, yeah, Kevin, you probably make a good point. I mean, you know, if you could take a really above average quarterback, and if he's got pretty good wide receivers, he's going to be okay, wouldn't you say?
I'll throw a name out there. How about A.J. Brown? I mean, he completely changed the Eagles' passing game. And they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I just wonder, you know, we see.
But there, too, do you base that on him and the fact that he has Devontae Smith beside of him and a great receiver
who else
tight
is
end?
there? Who else is there?
You know, I mean, so.
What, you didn't win it, though?
Good defense.
Still got you there.
I'm talking about winning. I'm talking about rings, baby. That's what I'm talking about. It's like a point guard, like all these guys talk about. We got Westbrook. We got Chris Paul. And the point guard has never won a championship.
That's true.
Think of all the point guards that have won championships. Tony Parker's about the best ones that we've had in a while.
Yeah.
Besides, you know, you got Curry and Isaiah's the only two that's ever led their team in scoring and won a championship under 6'5". Okay, so anything under 6'5", I mean, what do we? Well, you nothing to get excited about for me.
I sent out a couple messages this week about Bobo, and everybody talking about Wimbiana. You know, and Bobo
he did measure at 7'3.5".
Yeah, we got Bobo is bigger, faster, maybe even stronger than Wimbiana. Everybody's talking about Wimbiana, and Bobo still sitting. You know, like nobody.
I think Wimbiana's going to silence y'all's criticism of him.
I tell you, I think the kid's going to be good.
Yeah, I think your criticism of him. You guys have been overly critical.
I don't think he hit a shot in the shoot around. You see it? Y'all didn't see a shoot around with the Spurs? He didn't hit a shot.
Well, I just know when he plays against the Warriors, he won't score a point because he'll be shut down.
Draymond will shut him down.
Greatest defender in the history of basketball.
Do you think Hornets made the right decision on who they picked?
Yes.
I assume I would have picked. I wouldn't have took Scoot, unless I was going to trade, LaMelo.
The Hornets should sell their team to whoever wants it in Seattle. It's time to end this mess. We had a good run. We had Muggsy. I'm done. I'm done with them.
You had Grandmama. You had Lonzo Mourning.
No, this Miles Bridges.
You had Kurt Rambis.
No, this Miles Bridges thing.
They give him an extending qualifying offer of $15 million.
Right.
Unbelievable.
But here's the thing: if they're not going to trade him, they're going to keep him. I mean, what are we looking at as this franchise? Which one of those players do you want as a role model for your kid?
Who you want to take my kid in there and say, "Get your Miles Bridges jersey"?
You want to be like Miles Bridges? Who do you want to be like? I mean, so here's her comment: the girl that he beat up. And so this is to me 100% someone saying, "Man, I hope we may have fumbled our bag, Tom." All right, you ready for this? His mistakes and want to right his wrongs. Someone who needed help. You can give that to that young man in there with the glove
in the little room.
Yeah, JP, come out the door. Brought some donuts here, but all right. Here's her comments, Rob. His mistakes and want to right his wrongs. Someone who needed help. The Hornets as a whole. Now, a lot of this is not going to be complete English. I'll just go ahead and tell you it's going to be hard to follow along. The Hornets as a whole were nothing but good to me and my kids, so their interest isn't necessarily surprising when his talents are known. This is a comment on him coming back to the league and, hey, he beat you up. How you feel about this? She's talking about his talents, how talented he is in the second sentence. Jeez. Emotions are always so up and down, and I understand everyone's anger, and chances shouldn't be handed out or taken lightly. But I do believe in them, and these careers should be cherished more from the jump, not after it's taken away from you. So we're taking away his career. This girl is saying the people are trying to take away Miles Bridges' career because he beat me up.
Because he beat her up.
Not after it's taken away from me. I appreciate everyone who kindly stands behind me and respects, but not agrees, but respects if I choose to forgive him. This is the girl was beaten up by Miles Bridges. Talk about him getting back in the league. So he's up for a contract. And this sounds to me like this is what this is about. He's up for a contract. Only way we're all getting our money is if he gets that contract. I forgive him, everybody. He's a good guy. We need this $100 million. Think about it. If he doesn't come back in the league, he's got whatever money he's made. If he comes back, Desmond Bain, somebody's going to give him $200 million in 2 years, y'all. He's going to get $200 million. Not one, not half. That dude at 25 years old, the way he scored, he would get $200 million. And she forgave him, Tom. I bet she did.
I'm just saying, man. So what guys do to women sometimes is just deplorable. I mean, it's just I just can't wrap my mind around a guy who would hit a girl. I mean, that's
right.
Horrible. I mean, that's one of the most horrible things you could do.
He's the same age as Desmond Bain, same size. He's made been in the dunk contest. Last year he averaged 20. The last year he played, he averaged 20.7 rebounds. Same thing as Desmond Bain. $200 million. If in the Hornets, what was their qualifying offers at?
15.
It was 15 for 1 year or 2 years.
2, maybe 3. I think it's 3 year, $15 million.
So 4 years, $60 million. So they offered him 4 years, $60 million.
It's 4 years, $50 million a year.
So that's the qualifying offer. If anybody, basically, if anybody wants to match it, then the Hornets trade for him. Which, if they do that, if that's the plan.
Good.
I'm good with you.
He's
but if you guys are bringing him back and going to give him all these millions of dollars and all this, and it's just, At what point do Hornets fans say we're done? I mean,
they won't.
I'm at that point. I'm glad we got pretty uniforms, but at no point are we trying to win.
Maybe there was a time where we ran George Shin out of town for what he did, but
Yeah,
we're
they
going to
did.
bring in Miles Bridges and
Yeah, they did.
Well, George Shin was just infidelity, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, there was some money.
There's more
stuff
to
there. There was some money stuff there too, Tom. He was.
It's been a
But that's what ran him out of town. Was
If he was still alive,
I'm not sure. I just don't think they should.
I just always remember every time I went around Tegakay, George Shin. This is where his place was down there. But I suppose he's well removed from there.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't even know if he's still with us anymore.
Well, we got these little.
I always remember Larry Johnson.
Quick update on the Miles Bridges situation. His agents has asked the Hornets to rescind their offer. He thinks he can get more somewhere else. I think he's going to sign with the Lakers. LeBron. The Cleveland Cavaliers have been linked to Bridges, according to this report.
No, George Shin is 82 years old.
According to this report. Bridges. There you go.
He's probably not messing around anymore.
Is he's still on the Pelicans? Is that what he on? All right,
hanging out with Robert Kraft.
Rob, we talked a little about this week. And Zach, Nick Saban talking about the college football system, complaining about the actual teams that getting in last week. I went home and had some comments back. Guy said a good amount. Talking about the playoffs, he said when you got to play teams, and this is where he touched my nerve here, Rob. When you got to play some type of schedule with LSU, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee, Texas A&M, and even South Carolina, one game out of a year against a giant slayer like App State doesn't hurt. And so I responded back, wait a minute. We're not the pushovers here. We beat South Carolina last time we played them. You just mentioned South Carolina. And then he responded, okay. This was his response, though. He responded, okay, a game way back in 2019, Rob. That was the dude's response. Last time South Carolina beat App, 1988. So how way back, which way back counts?
And look at the
we
records.
beat you 3 years ago. What are you talking about? Wait, this don't even count. Yeah, look at the records. We were 8-1, they were 4-6. Then how about Texas A&M? Weren't they ranked in the top 5 last year and we beat them? Mm-hmm. Peace out, boys. SEC. We would be in the middle of the pack. Better than
then you would start to be able to recruit.
Around 1988 was the same year I went down to Williams-Brice Stadium and watched the Duke Blue Devils tie the South Carolina Gamecocks right there on their football field.
That might have been that. That might have been the year.
I believe so. I believe Billy Ray was quarterback.
No, we've talked. App. If I was them, I would have somebody, my best lawyer in the SEC. I would have the best. What is it? What are they called? Not advocates for you, but what that you go to Washington for, Tom?
Lobbyist.
Yes, I'd have a lobbyist at the SEC headquarters every day if I was App. Expand college. I know they probably won't, but NC State should be doing the same thing. They should be calling the SEC. The first school that gets that SEC recruiting advantage in North Carolina, how much difference is that going to make to their team? Like, if NC State said, well, if NC State's in the SEC, now Carolina comes calling, and you're from North Carolina, or Duke comes calling, what do you say? Like, how do you pass that up? I don't know. I just think if State was smart, I think that's the one that should do it more than any of them. But Terry don't want to leave his Tar Heels in basketball. And, I mean, Tar Heels and Duke.
It might be a force thing. It looks like anyway coming up.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's coming.
Just as another little note to our other story, George Shin never returned to Charlotte since 2002. He has never returned. Never returned. He was banished from Charlotte. He never came back.
The kick returner I was thinking about was Michael Bates.
Oh, yeah.
He actually beat Carl Lewis in the Olympics in 1992.
Bonus question. Where was George Shin born? Kannapolis, North Carolina.
How about that?
Kannapolis, North Carolina. And has never been back to Charlotte for 21 years.
I bet he has.
Nope.
Nobody's
He's never returned.
Tom.
Nope.
Maybe
you know why? Because he is hated for 2 reasons: trading Alonzo Mourning and moving the Hornets out of town.
in defense of Alonzo was my all-time favorite player because I like to watch defense, block shots, stuff like that. But to get Glenn Rice back in it was a good player.
Yeah,
he was
best player in franchise
pretty
history.
good trade.
I would agree with you.
But Zoe was so popular.
Yes,
he was
favorite.
so popular.
He didn't want to be here though.
He did not.
So I'm one of those people that like once you've
it
gone,
worked out.
Once you've asked to leave and don't want to be here, like I know how Tom feels about LeBron. Like I'm that way with Lonzo. Like y'all liked him, but he didn't even like us. So why are y'all?
He didn't want to be here.
He didn't want to be here. All right. Last thought here, Rob. You mentioned Ricky Henderson earlier. Legend has it that a reporter once quoted John 3:16 to Ricky Henderson. And Ricky Henderson replied, Ricky don't want to hear about John hitting 316. Ricky hit 330 this year. We'll see you guys next week on KTCBroadcasting.com.